Hello and welcome. This is my 1988 Schwinn World Sport. Briefly, I bought it last year for just $25. That's right, $25. The gentleman from whom I bought it said that his wife told him to ride it or sell it and get it out of their garage. Well, I guess she didn't say anything about selling it for a profit. It was in superb shape, and it even has these two relatively new, all-purpose Kenda tires. All I did was put on a new chain and some bar tape. My initial attempt at installing the bar tape, well, let's just say there's plenty of room for improvement. Be that as it may. My plan was to replace the stock Araya single-wall wheels with Joytech hubs with a set of Araya double-wall wheels with Shimano 105 hubs. Additionally, this would also be an upgrade from a 13 to 28 tooth 6-speed freewheel to an 11 to 32 tooth cassette, both Shimano, which would have improved the climbing. Plus, the cassette is a 7-speed. Unfortunately, the replacement wheels axles were just too wide. And since I did not feel like doing a cold set to widen the frame, I went with Plan B. It's always good to have a Plan B. I simply replaced the Kenda all-purpose tires with a pair of nearly new Bontrager T2 road tires. And while I was at it, I installed new bar tape on the bike. Frankly, my earlier effort was way below par. The new tape looks so much better without the electrical tape patches. So all that's left now is to take the old girl out for a quick ride. And what a beautiful Easter day this is. The sun's out, it's warm. It's a little breezy, but that's okay. It'll help dry up things. And all this snow you see here, that fell a couple of days ago. In fact, it fell so wet and so heavy that it knocked power out here in Maine. I was without power for almost 24 hours. And as I record this, there are still something like 50,000 people here in the state who have yet to have their power restored. So, yeah, steel bikes, I love them. There's just something, it's hard to pin down, but there's something about the way a steel bike rides. And this bike with the tall tires and the relatively short wheelbase, it handles like a sports car. It just turns on the literal dime. And the 11 to 28 tooth freewheel, you wouldn't think that would be that great for climbing. But you combine that with the 54 to 42 tooth chain rings, and it actually provides decent gearing. This bike is a great climber on all but the very steepest hills, and candidly, I think that is less about the bicycle than it is about the rider. So, yeah, I think this bike turned out pretty well, and this is going to be a keeper. I have a few other steel bikes, but I really like this one. And, let's be honest, that shiny black paint job looks wicked sharp. Another thing that I like about these old steel bikes is that they are awfully easy to work on, and they are amazingly durable. A case in point, I have a video, which I've linked to at the end here, about a mid-1970s Western Flyer 10-speed that I picked up for $20 and I refurbished. I did so with the intent of giving it away. So, here's the story. I've been conducting I guess you could call it an outreach ministry with bicycles. I love working on bikes. I love working with my hands, and it's just a natural outlet for me. So I picked up this Western Flyer, and the poor old thing was in terrible shape. Luckily, I had some parts, and I had access to others through Amazon. No affiliation. And I fixed this bike up because there's a charity outreach in the area with whom I've recently started working. A new one to me. They've been around a while. And the lady with whom I was speaking, she knew of a gentleman who had no car. He was basically either taking the bus with his very limited income, or he was walking everywhere that he had to go. And I said, you know what? Why don't I fix up this Western Flyer and give it to him? She thought that was great, and so did I. And, oh my gosh, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm really not. Here's the thing. When I spoke to the fellow on the phone, he asked me, well, how much? And you could hear that seed of doubt in his voice. And I told him, no charge. It's a gift. And long story short is, she gave him a ride to a place where we could all three meet. And I handed the bike off to him. And oh my gosh, the gentleman was so pleased to not have to walk everywhere. Honestly, I thought he was going to cry. And, you know, it makes you realize how much need there is. And in this case, I was able to do something, hopefully make life a little easier for this fella. And it really, candidly, it makes me feel good. And my operating principle here is the adage from the Bible, and I paraphrase, to whom much is given, much is expected. So there's my bike-oriented Easter story for you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. As I said earlier, there are links at the end here to other videos which I think you'll enjoy, including that Western Flyer. I hope that this video finds you and yours safe and healthy. And just remember, you're not in this alone. We are all in this together. And this too shall pass. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.